Hey Ian, yeah, fans are rolling in for the first ever sold-out Coastal Carolina football game, and you really couldn't ask for a better matchup as Coastal Carolina opens their season and celebrates 20 years as a football program. Now that means that when Coastal played their first game, I was 5 years old. When Army played their first football game in 1890, my great-grandparents weren't even born yet. We are just 9 weeks away from crowning the Cup Series champion. That starts right here at Darlington Raceway for the Cookout Southern 500 as playoffs kick off right here at the track Too Tough to Tame. After being down by 6 runs to send Virginia home in a walk-off yesterday afternoon, they used that momentum to snap ECU's 20-game win streak last night. They got some great news beforehand that they won't be playing 1 but 2 games in the postseason after clinching the Sun Belt East. Thank you, ULM. But that's not the biggest news coming out of Coastal Carolina this week. It's the fact that quarterback Grayson McCall is injured and he won't be playing tonight and maybe not for the rest of the season. That's right, Gabe, first time at the track, and what I've already learned so far from speaking with fans and local businesses and race coordinators is that Darlington Raceway really has that similar charm and tradition that we see at other iconic sporting events like the Masters or the Kentucky Derby. The Wilson Tigers looking for their first state title in 16 years tonight. They beat their last 2 opponents in the postseason by at least 13 points. 1 more win away. Tonight they've got to beat AC Flora. Well, the Saturday after Thanksgiving is always an important day in the Carolinas, but it's been a couple years since we've seen a Palmetto Bowl as competitive as this one, as the South Carolina Gamecocks and the Clemson Tigers went head-to-head for all 4 quarters. So far this season, there hasn't been any football games that have had to be canceled or moved to a different date because of the current referee shortage. Organizations are working to make sure that continues as we transition from fall sports to winter. South Florence brought the party with them tonight as the stadium was packed with blue and gold for the championship game. Bruins with the ball on 3rd down and 15. Quarterback Lenore Sellers fires one down the field, and Evan Singletary reaches forward to pull in the first touchdown of the night. But Northwestern is going to answer right back as the Trojans QB Finley Polk shows us that he's got an arm too as he lobs one down the field to Jaden Burris, who takes it home, and the score is 7-6. Later, it's Sellers who connects with his younger brother Jaden Sellers, who sheds the tackle before taking off for the finish line to make this a 21-13 game. Later, Sellers on the quarterback keeper as he fights off defenders and takes it down the field to put the Bruins within 20, setting up for Shaquem Shiloh to take it to the end zone on the very next play. Heading to the end of the half with less than 30 seconds on the clock, it's Sellers again who calls his own number and heads past the goal line, and the Bruins have a comfy lead heading into the half, up by 15 points. After the half, Trojans with the ball, but they're going to get called for intentional grounding, resulting in a safety. And Northwestern can only manage to put up 10 points in the second half, while South Florence just keeps on rolling. And they go on to win tonight's 4A state title game 57-30 to secure their first ever championship in program history. Heading to Socastee High School now. A ribbon cutting before the game to commemorate the stadium's new renovations. The 5A Socastee Braves looking for their 2nd win of the season against the 2A Silver Bluff Bulldogs, which should be their easiest opponent on their tough schedule this season. On the Braves' first offensive possession, quarterback Rocco Wojcik tosses to Queer Scott, who dodges the tackles with the help of his teammates and finds a lane to take this one all the way down to the end zone for the touchdown, and Braves are up leading 7-0 less than a minute into tonight's game. Braves back with the ball. It's handed off to Caden O'Keefe, who finds room down the sideline before being taken down by a pack of dogs. Then Wojcik launches one down the field, and it's into the hands of Steven Green, who takes it to the house. Braves up 14-0. Silver Bluff now with the ball, marching down the field, but here's Arbor Lacani with the tackle, knocking that ball right out of the receiver's hand. Sakasi picks up the loose change. Braves had control in this matchup tonight, taking the game 21-0 to move to 2-0 on the season. Two middle school teams were playing their championship game at Lumberton High School, and what should have been a night to remember for these young athletes will now be unforgettable in a different way.
I've taught a lot of good-hearted, good kids.
Donald Weller has taught English in Robeson County for 27 years. And on weeknights, he can be found on the sideline at St. Paul Middle School football games. That's what he was doing Wednesday night. He took this video of the kids after they won the championship game and were about to receive their trophy when they heard gunshots in the distance.
I just ran, and so I just happened to continue filming.
In the video, you hear a young boy telling Mr. Weller to stay down.
Yeah! Mr. Weller, I got your phone! Run, Mr. Weller! Mr. Weller, get down! Get down, Mr. Weller! Get down, Mr. Weller! What happened?
That's the voice of 7th grader Bobby Holloman.
I'm running, and I see Mr. Weller fall in front of me. And I saw he dropped his phone. I picked up his phone, and I said, I got your phone. I laid it on his chest, I pushed him down, got him down, and then I got down right beside him.
Those attending the game reported hearing multiple gunshots, but no one knew where they were coming from.
My mom said that she looked over and she couldn't find me, and her and my little brother got up under the bleachers and hid.
Lumberton Police Department later reported that a 41-year-old female had been shot in the parking lot, and she was flown to the hospital. Multiple cars in the parking lot were also hit by bullets. The head coach for St. Paul's middle school team, Adam Lowry, says the middle school doesn't have its own football facility. The school often has to move their games to high schools. He thinks things would have been different if middle schools had their own fields.
If we had stuff here on campus and we had the correct facilities here on campus, it would be, better prepared for situations and, try to prevent things like that from happening.
And a statement was sent out by the Robeson School District that they will be putting additional lighting on campuses, especially in the parking lots. Reporting in Lumberton, Corinne McGrath, WMBF News. Bus rides are nothing new for high school athletes, but days before one of the most important games of their career, 88 of the top high school football seniors in the state took a bus ride to Target to do some shopping.
Today is just an amazing day that they get to bond with these elementary students, and they get to have big brothers for the day.
Each student from Myrtle Beach Primary was partnered with 2 athletes from the North and South teams.
I got some pants, some shirts, and some toys.
The elementary students had $150 to spend on necessities and toys. The goal was to find the right size, the right price, and decide which item would be the most fun to play with.
It's really exciting. When I was a kid, I got to see people from Myrtle Beach do it. I saw it online, and it's kind of surreal to be the one doing it with these kids, representing my community. It's even better than I'm in my hometown.
It was teamwork that made the dream work today, as children walked out with big bags full of coats, pants, socks, Pokemon cards, and dolls.
2 of them.
And an unforgettable day for the players. With football in college constantly on their minds, they took a time out from practice this afternoon to score some joy.
Putting a smile on their faces. Just seeing them, just cheer up, man. Yeah. Cheer up, man. Just run. It just warms your heart, and that's what you want, man. Just everybody have joy, especially right time this year. Everybody, a lot of people's unfortunate. A lot of people don't got like what everybody else got, so.